Summertime, dogs getting overheat and die. This video here is to help you understand things that most people have no idea that they actually exist. And most people don't have any idea, just like I didn't have any idea when I started in the dogs. Because most of us, when we have 1 dog, 2 dogs, or even 20 dogs, many times you don't know shit about dogs. In the life of the dogs, you run into different situations all the time. When you have as many dogs as I have and live as many years I have lived with the dogs, you literally pass through a point when you make that mistake, and that mistake you also make the mistake, and that one you also made it. And so we're looking at dogs in general. They got different breeds. I was looking at the causes of dogs dying. One of them is cancer, and the majority of the times is not even hereditary, but it's actually because the food, the chemicals that are in the food, regular dog food, regular kibble, kills dogs. If you don't understand this, you got to go back into the history of all the recalls from all those big brands that make dog food. Okay, you got to go in there, take a look at all the chemicals and fillers they put in there. By now, if you haven't awakened up yet to understand that even humans are being killed right now, hospitals full of people sick that they shouldn't be sick, that they say when you go to a supermarket, all this stuff with sugar, all this stuff with all these different components, and you start killing people. Well, with the dogs is the same. The dog food is actually full of problems. And when dogs die, it's 150,000 dogs that die. They run to the vet, they got sick, whatever, the veterinarians let them know. They do some chemicals, but those things just stay on the hush-hush. They don't make it like, you never go and see that like they make a big deal. Most people never get the news. And what happens is the companies start recall some bags from some places, and they reformulate everything. They diminish the formulas, and they redo the formulas to start selling the dogs. Salmonella. Salmonella could be a problem that creates diseases on dogs. Can kill a dog, sometimes a human. And so all these different things that are happening, trying to explain to you, is that a lot of dogs die because of cancer, but 10% of all dogs in general, as an average, die because kidney problems, kidney situations. And the majority of the kidney situations are happening primarily because infections. There's 2 different types of kidney problems. Number 1 is going to be the chronic disease. It's going to be a kidney disease. It becomes chronic after a long time. And then you have the chronic disease, and then you can have acute renal disease where the dog gets poisoned and dies, like within a day, the next day, the same day. He runs into rat poison, chemicals, he dies. He runs into some poison and dies. I had a case one time where a dog that I wanted to protect, that it was sent to me to be bred, I put it in a barn. The dog broke the kennel. I had some automobile liquids and things that I work with cars for my own car, and so broke a gallon of antifreeze and died. Then the antifreeze is sweet and is absolutely really bad for the kidneys, and even just a little bit of it can kill a dog, and it's horrible. And so dogs don't have hands. They actually do everything with their tongue and their mouth. And so there's ways on how people poison their dogs without knowing, which is the food, but there's also accidents that can happen, as just explained with the antifreeze. So let's say a dog is in the house, and there's pills for different diseases or different medicines for pain, for whatever. And people always are running with these, the wife, the husband, the children, some fall from the counter. And now you got a dog in the house, and the dog comes in, picked up that, and dies. That's it. That he might get hurt. Depending on the damage, he might die quickly, or he might just develop kidney disease. And the kidney disease will have some symptoms. The dog is sick. He didn't die, but it stays like that sick for a long time. And by staying sick for a long time, eventually One day it becomes into a kidney disease, and then he dies. Okay, so there are different reasons, and the reasons are because the toxins go to the kidneys, and the kidneys get overloaded. There's different reasons how you can overload a dog. For instance, a working dog and a sporting dog will get kidney diseases or even Q and die when they get poisoned by overworking. It's very, very simple. If you, for instance, the airlines stop transporting dogs in America in the summertime because the summer kills dogs, and it's usually going to be a heart attack or it's going to be kidney problems. And it happens because when you go over 85 degrees, even if you are under the shed, you don't have air condition, a dog can still die. So let's say you are 90 degrees under the shed, some dogs can still die. Usually are going to be dogs with the short snout, pug nose, okay, flat nose, and like bulldogs and pugs and stuff like that, Frenchies as well. But even American Pitbull Terriers, I seen them that the heat can hit them hard. I'm going to give you a perfect example of one of my dogs that died. I had a dog called Omega Red. It was the son of Hollingsworth Dolly and Tans Dudley. And one day, you know, he loved to rage hell. And in the summertime in Texas, all the dogs in their igloos, under the trees and everything, those dogs in the summertime, it was silent. They wouldn't bark, they wouldn't make nothing. The dogs understood, they go in the igloos and they stay quiet. But this one dog, there was a branch or something that bothered him. And he kept on raging hell. And I'll go, I water him down, I don't know what to do with him. Ex-wife don't want him in the house, so I got him out there. And when he's out there, one day, it was hot, maybe 100 degrees in Texas. You might say 90 degrees, but it feels like 100 degrees. And then the dog just died. Another time, I have a dog. I paid $11,000 for the dog. His name was Desperado. Desperado came many years ago. I'm talking about 2002 maybe. Desperado came from New York area. And this dog was a direct son of Angel's Apache. So I wanted him. He was about 8 or 9 years old. And for that older dog that wasn't used too much, I paid a lot of money. But I wanted the dog. I wanted to have some puppies for him, and for me, it was worth it. Ex-wife get the dog in the afternoon. The airport takes him to Magnolia, Texas. It was around 6 o'clock. If you don't know Houston in the summertime, the night it becomes around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, then the sun goes down. But even 6 o'clock, the sun is still up. Around 6 o'clock, the dog is in a chain, brand new chain in Texas. It wasn't super hot, but the dog lived all his life on the chain, started making a hole, she told me. And the moment he started to accelerate himself, trying to make the hole, and the dog is making a hole because he's looking to get to cooler grounds under. So he started making a hole, and then he died on the hole. I never got to see the dog, ever. I got so upset. The dog died while I was still at work. And so these are different things that can happen to the dog. I got a friend of mine's got one of my dogs, and he had this dog that was beautiful also from me. And somebody gave the dog 2 grapes, and the grapes killed the dog. That's it. That just that simple. Grapes will kill your dog. And for the summertime, a friend of mine has a dog. Send me a video. The super bright outside, hot, dog racing hell, banging, and he's happy with the dog. He doesn't know about the dog. He's a good man, super good man. But I can tell you, you could be a good man and still don't know shit about dogs, make mistakes. And so when the dog is racing hell, he sent me the video like, oh, look, I'm working him and training him, whatever. And I said, my man, the dog is in trouble. I said, what do you mean? He said, first of all, you're overworking him on the summertime. I think his muscles look flat. They look a lot better a few months ago. I need to take this dog, get a blood work, ask for the bond, BUN. And he was like, really? I said, yes. Trust me, he said, oh, but he's acting fine, he look fine. I said, this dog is messed up. This dog walking like this, he doesn't look good. He looks flat. He looks absolutely flat to me. Taking the dog, they say the dog has problems with the kidneys. Within 2 weeks, the dog died. And so that means dogs cannot walk when it's hot? Literally, no. Dogs are not meant to be walking when it's freaking hot. Even yourself. You go out there, try to walk, because you think it's cool. No. You don't see people running in the middle of the day when it's hot as hell. You might see them in the New York Marathon or something like that when it's cool, 60, 75 degrees. People are not running outside 85 degrees. They're not running at 90 degrees, just running marathons and stuff like that, pushing themselves to the limits. You can hurt your kidneys. And with the dogs, there's no difference, even more sensitive with dogs. And so we live in a world with a lot of chemistry and a lot of stuff. So you overload the dog of toxins because the dog is burning a lot of proteins from his body. Muscles are proteins. It's burning a lot of proteins. It becomes toxic to the liver, to the kidneys and the liver. And so the liver repairs itself and the kidney kind of repairs itself a little bit, not as much as the kidney. When you damage the tissue of the liver, the kidney, it has scars. And so basically what I'm giving you here, I'm giving you different scenarios for you to understand that you can hurt your dog without you knowing, you being ignorant about how to protect your dog. And this is the second video I make. I have a guy, has 16 of my dogs. They're in kennels, which each kennel is the size of a regular bedroom. Huge. And a big like bunker. And the dogs are happy, healthy, all of them. All of them. You can have only one dog. And you take the dog out of that environment and you start walking him in the middle of the summer outside of the bunker and the dog gets sick and die. These dogs are so powerful that one of my dogs got poisoned and that dog, even poisoned, he didn't die. That's how powerful the dog was. Super powerful. But it's still, chemicals from dog food can kill your dog. Now I'm going to give you a different aspect that you need to be careful. People like to walk their dogs where there's a lot of beautiful grass. Beautiful grass. Schools, backyards, stuff like that. The lawn is very nice. You see somebody cutting the lawn, but you probably didn't see the guy when he's spraying to kill the weed. They call it Roundup. That causes cancer, and when you touch it. But if you eat it, it destroys your kidneys right away. Right away. So let's say walking around, passing through a school, some building, some places, the guy is dropping Roundup. Maybe the neighbor has ants and he takes this spray they put for ants. You buy it at Home Depot in the United States and all kinds of places. And it kills the ants. And your dog goes by, he licks it. Now you got a dog that might not die, but develops a problem. It's that sensitive. The dogs in the bunker, nothing happens to them. My dogs that I never let them approach anything. They either with me in the center of the street. Most of the videos you're going to see me at the center of the street, not on the side of the street. I don't like to walk where there's a lot of traffic because then I got to be on the side of the street. I like to walk in the middle of the street so my dogs won't pull me to start leaking and smelling things. I learned this the hard way. I had a dog walking by, picked up a bat. There was a dead bat, and my dog got sick. And so you need to learn. And the first thing you need to understand, you have to have a mentality where you order yourself so you can learn. Some people sometimes, they could be like narcissists where they cannot see when they make faults themselves. It's always going to be some of the reason. But when it comes to dogs, you must understand that as a pet owner, you're responsible for your dog. And there's many, many different things that can happen to the dog. Let me give you another example. We live in a world full of parasites. There is there is ticks and flies and ticks and fleas that go into the dogs. So you got tick medicine, Prevecto. Look at the name. And there's other ones too. You can buy them. And they used to be regulated. Now they're not regulated. But they used to be regulated because many dogs die for renal disease, kidney disease. And so why did this happen? Because those medicines, they have fertilizers that killed bugs, and it's put on those things, and when your dog eats it, it has poison. And it happens also with Ibomec. I think I give Ibomec in excess to my dogs, but still my dogs handle it. They handle it very well. I got dogs here that the first time they ever got dewormed, they got dewormed with Ibomec. And now they are 14 years old with Ibomec. Atos being protected with Ibomec his entire life. He's 10 years old. And so, when dogs go out there in the world, they get exposed to all kinds of different things. So the main thing for you to get out of this lesson is that your dog can become sick from many different things, especially in the kidneys. And it has to do with all kinds of things. You got to do your research, and you'll find out that there's two main different situations. It's going to be your renal infections that can be caused by many different things, and then it's going to be chemicals. And within these chemicals, you're going to get the situation where you can have your dog poisoned by his own metabolism, which is the case where you running a dog on a treadmill, burn the dog, the kidneys have a problem now. You're going to have a situation. So when your dog is out there in the heat, he is overheated, he's working very hard, pulling very hard, you're walking him in 90 plus degrees, your dog might develop kidney disease. And if you don't pay attention to signals, then that will become acute kidney disease and die quickly. So a dog could have kidney disease, and it can be protected and taken care of while he's alive because you caught it on time. But if you don't have the knowledge or the curiosity to study, then you run into when the disease becomes acute kidney disease. And at that moment, you can't save it. It's already too late. You didn't pay attention to the different signals that you are getting. So you got to be careful out there. I'm having this conversation with you like I'm sitting in your living room, trying to give you some tips here and there, giving you everything, the whole scenario, so you can understand. That's why I love to feed natural. That's why I love to feed raw chicken. It's a little heavy on proteins, and excessive proteins can also kill your dog. So if you got a dog that's getting a lot of proteins and you're not working your dog, can also give you a problem. But if you got a dog that's working at nighttime, you're walking him, and depending, each dog is different. Let me give you a perfect example. Global Grand Champion Chilindrina died of old age. That was a dog that first time she touched a treadmill, it was a brand new treadmill we got from the United States, expensive one, and she ran already as an old lady. We made a video like, how crazy people use this treadmill. She's the best dog in the world at the time, and she never run a treadmill. She worked on my collar. With my Warrior collar, she never worked up to 40 minutes. Never. Because she was super shotgun. She will, from 0 to 1,000 from the moment you step out. There was no way, there was no medium speed for her. And so if you got a dog that loves to pull very hard, then you got to be mindful and use your brain. And you're getting all this information for me to help you preserve your dogs. Dog is pulling very hard. He cannot be just pulling all the time. You got to give him some slack. That's why I say, you got to rest your dog. You walk him for a little bit. Then you let go of the leash, make it long, so the dog can, kind of pace himself. They are not machines. They made out of bones, made out of flesh, made out of nerves, made out of different organs. And you need to protect your dog. And so it's not like I get the dog, I feed the dog, I take him to get puppy shots, and I don't study anything about my dog. Then you come out, you make stupid mistakes. Go to a place where you didn't notice that there was a man spraying Roundup, 6 hours ago. And you take your dog and you let the dog sniffing. Oh, he's just sniffing. He's just looking to pee. So he's going to sniff before he pees. You know how I make my dogs pee? Let me teach you this. You're learning here for free. I got a spot where he pees all the time. A trusted spot where he pees. And that's why I say I like the chain spot. Because the chain spot is my spot. Nobody want to spray anything in it. So I got a chain spot. And that's where I put him. When I travel with dogs, I will go and stop in a place and I tie up the dog around a tree or a pole that I knew how it was. And I keep watching. The doggies don't feel like want to pee. All of a sudden, get comfortable, start pulling on the leash, start pulling on the little portable chain, and decides to pee. If I'm in a different country and I'm in a different house and that became her peeing spot or his peeing spot, I will walk to the same spot all the time. So the dog will know that he can pee there. It's a trusted spot. But I don't have a dog peeing all over the place, because when they go peeing all over the place, they go smelling. And when they go smelling, they might be leaking on poo-poo. They might be leaking on feces of mice. They might be leaking maybe a rat, whatever. So you have to be mindful. And, you need to be mindful. Shit happens. They made a sticker out of it. Shit happens. There's an area that no matter how much you do, no matter how much you care, no matter how much you learn, no matter how much you know, bad things can happen. But if you do your 33% to show up and do the right thing, and you do the other 33% of great, do your work with the dog and being smart about it and learning what you're doing right now, right here. If you do all these things, you prevent. You don't make stupid mistakes, rookie mistakes. That's what they call them, rookie mistakes. Rookies make a lot of mistakes, And so if you don't make none of these rookie mistakes, and you are blessed that nothing out of the extraordinary came and hit you, you're going to have a dog that's going to be 12, 14, 15 years old. If you're blessed, if God blesses you with that, 10 years old for sure. You get there and the dog is healthy. Think about Atos. Atos went through a series of conditioning. Some of them were harder than I wanted to. Some of them were a lot harder than I wanted to. He was always missing something in his conditioning. He was never 100%. He make up for the difference all the time. And he went through a war. He almost died 3 days. He was in the hospital for a month, dying, getting medicines, getting all this. Atos himself. And he's still alive at 10 years old. God bless him. He's 10 years old. The veterinarian love him. He says he's so healthy. It's unbelievable. I'm on top of him. I'm checking his gums. He doesn't walk in the middle of the sun. If there's any pictures of Atos when it's sunny, it was sunny, but it was cool. It wasn't sunny and it's hot. All these different things are important for you to know. People that understand dogs, they understand that you cannot have a stud dog in the summertime, on the chain in the summertime, because you ruin your dog. It has not even sperm. They got to be in a cooler place. Very, very important. Very important for you to understand this concept. Very important. And I want you guys to learn from this channel, because shit happens, and more than likely, you need to learn more about dogs than what you know. So we adding value to you right here. We're doing this for you for free. Learning. I make mistakes in the past. I pay for those mistakes. Unfortunately, things happen. Ex-wife put the dog on the chain. It wasn't very high. It was 6 o'clock, Texas. Magnolia, Texas, right by Houston. And the dog that was alive all his life till about 9 years old, boom, he died on one day. One mistake by one rookie, one woman that don't know shit about dogs. That happens. You understand? I even called the guy bitching, complaining, blah, blah, blah. The dog came in. The dog was alive 9 years. Come here, The dog died. I didn't ask for any money back. I didn't complain. I knew we made a mistake. I knew it was the ex-wife, you know. And so you need to understand what happened to dogs. You need to be on top of your dogs. Walking a dog, smelling everywhere with the long leash, going under the houses, smelling and stuff like that, you don't learn. You're a rookie. So I don't want you to be a rookie. I want you to be a great dog owner with some experience. Understand? So I'm glad that you're learning, and I'd like you to drop a message. Let me know if you like this content, if you like these conversations we're having now. Because if you like them, if you find them, tell me why you like them, you know. And if you have questions, ask me the questions. I would love to answer some of your questions, some of the topics you want me to talk about, and we'll develop them. So these, we're going to call them Talking to the Breeder, Chico Lopez. Cheers from Brazil to all of you guys. God bless you. I wish you nothing but the best. Enjoy your dogs. Love your dogs. And there's one thing that I need to add to this conversation. It's something that they used to call it common before. Common means you can find it anywhere. People don't have it anymore. It's not common. They used to call common sense. People today, they have no sense. We live in a world of princesses. Big men with mustache, with beard. Big, fat, skinny, don't matter. That think know it all. Google boys. We live in the world of Google boys. And people that are self-entitled. They think they know shit, but they don't. They have no experience whatsoever. Guys that were raised with mutts, they don't have any idea what it is to have a sporting dog, to have a working dog, a dog that works extra hard. You walk with your mutt, and your mutt, nothing happens to the mutt. The mutt is not intense like a working dog. So you must learn all these different things. Pay attention, be aware, do the right thing. If you want to know if your dog is doing great, just do blood work. You'll find out if your dog is doing great. God bless you. My name is Chico Lopez. Wish you nothing but the best.